Welcome to the ReWire Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Stewman, and I'm here to rewire your mind for success. We're glad that you're here. You want to know what the real pandemic in America is right now? It's not some kind of virus on the loose. It's not that new flu stuff that had you feeling like you're in brain fog, walking through mud. I don't know what that's all about, man, but I had that stuff. It was horrible. But that's not the problem either. The true pandemic right now, the big problem that is infecting so many people right now in America is the fact that people are taking credit for shit that they didn't do. Now, let me talk to you about what that exactly means here, okay? So the other day I'm sitting with somebody and we're in a seminar. And I'm sitting with the guy, and there's a dude on stage talking about how he did this gigantic exit for this company, and he made him all this money and everything else. And he was bragging. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to this fucking idiot, I'm sitting next to the dude that actually did the shit that the motherfucker on stage is talking about, and he goes, that guy was like 5 minutes into the program and like disappeared on us, and he's up there acting like he fucking put the whole thing together. He's like, that's my fucking deal. The guy doesn't even know me, and he doesn't even know that I'm in the room to fucking be saying the shit that he's saying. And I say that because, first of all, that's hilarious, right? The confrontation that took place after this was fucking great, I'm sure. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. It's fucking awesome. However, what I want you to consider is a lot of people these days, the true pandemic is people think they did more than they actually did. And what I'm saying is that guy on stage, he did play a role in it, right? The guy said he was 5 minutes into this fucking thing and he's gone, right? But he's taking credit as if he built, designed, sold, whatever the case this scenario is. I'm trying to be very vague so I don't give out names, right? And you guys go, damn it, I knew it. So what I'm saying here is this person standing on stage probably in their mind wasn't lying. In their mind, they're thinking, I played a role in it. I should take credit for it. Meanwhile, the dude that actually did the shit sitting next to me and doesn't want anybody to fucking know who he is. Okay? So think about that. The guy that was sitting next to me is rare breed, by the way. Those folks don't fucking exist. And this is unicorn status. There was 2 unicorns in that room and motherfuckers didn't even see our horns, right? The second thing is the world's full of the people on stage. There's plenty of people. You know how often I get applications from people that tell me they built Grant Cardone's business. If I didn't know any better, I would think that Grant never did shit, right? Because everybody that leaves his organization hits me up and brags about how much they fucking did for him and how much they made him and how much he wouldn't have existed and how much they contributed. And that's great. They probably did play a role in that. Clearly they worked for the guy, but they won't credit as if they raised $3 billion for real estate. They won't credit as if they bought a $50 million jet. They won't credit as if they're flipping $10 million houses in Beverly Hills. And they didn't do any of that, but they want all the credit as if his success was pivotal and because of him. I used to get the same thing from Dan Locke. I used to get the same thing from Jordan Belfort's ex-people and say, oh, without Jordan, we wouldn't have did this. I took Jordan from here to there. No, here's the thing. Okay, Dan Locke, Grant Cardone, Jordan, Tony Robbins, you replace any of those, Ryan Stewman, replace any of those names, right? We're gonna fucking win anyway, right? So if you start working with me today, and you stop working with me 2 years from now, we are going to have grown within those 2 years, with or without you, right? And people want to take credit for that as if it was their key. Now, everybody plays a role. I understand that. But they want to take credit for it as if they did the shit and it wasn't going to happen without them. And I'm just giving these couple of examples, but it is a pandemic that is running through people. They want credit for shit they didn't do. They want money for work they didn't earn. They want to be pat on the back before they do the job. And it's the craziest thing to me because the old school mentality that I have is you work and hustle. You don't need a pat on the back. You don't need recognition. At some point, somebody's going to see you. See, here's what I know about life. If you just do the work, at some point, somebody's going to see you doing the work. And if you do enough of that work, they're going to give you that shot. They're going to give you that opportunity, right? Because hustlers like me, OGs like me, when we see somebody, we know. It ain't the waiter at the restaurant. It ain't the guy at the car dealership. But when we know somebody, shit, that's the person. They don't even know what I know about them. But see, we got too many people right now, and it's this thing. When you show up to me and you want a job interview here at one of the companies I own, and you talk about how you built this last company, let's get them on the phone and see if they feel the same way. Well, what would I mean, fuck, you built it. They should be proud to fucking know you, right? Let's get them on the phone and see if they feel the same way. Because here's what I know. People that just say, hey, if you come and you do a job interview and you say, hey, I took part of a team for an amazing company under an amazing leader, and it allowed me to grow from $50,000 a month in sales to $150,000 a month personally, because of their leadership in that company, it allowed me to grow, and that's what I enjoyed about the job, but I felt like I had outgrown it and needed another opportunity. Those are the type of people that we fucking hire. That's the kind of language that we're looking for. We're not looking for somebody that's like, oh, well, I grew Grant Cardone's business from 1 million to 5 million every 3 days while I was there, and, I was the lead this and lead that. It's like, listen, here's what I want you to know. When you're going to apply for any job with a real leader, a leader is looking for real followers. And I don't mean like weaker people or less people, but a leader sets a standard, and the followers, they come and they reinforce that standard. The leader sets a culture. The followers build the culture. See, so many people think it's like, oh, the leader's the best and the followers are like the peasants or whatever. That's not the case, right? The leader sets the tone, and the followers set the culture that matches that tone. So get rid of if you're out there and you're suffering from the pandemic of wanting credit for shit you didn't do, listen, if you earn credit, somebody's going to give it to you. Rise above.